Hello, happy Wednesday. Welcome to my Facebook Live. This is Sasha Wilson, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. If you're watching me, you probably found my page, Ink-ology. So thanks for joining us today. We'll go ahead and give a few minutes for people to join. If you're getting on, be sure to say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. This is my current hostess code on my website, and this hostess code is good through July 30th. As usual, anyone that spends $40 or more will get my monthly card kit in the mail for free, and then I host a card class on Facebook. And if you can't join the class live, I do a recording, so you can watch the recording. So you get supplies for 4 cards in the mail. And this month, my class is going to feature the Sweet Strawberry stamp set. And while supplies last, for what I have, I'm giving a 4x6 bundle of this designer series paper. So this is from last celebration, and this is the designer series paper that matched with this stamp set. So you'll get that for free also in your card kit this month. All this month, there is a designer series paper share. Let me see if I can find my paper. Hold on. Well, I don't have it handy at the moment, but I've shared it in my all month long. There's a Stampin' Up's having a sale, 15% off 9 different designer series papers. So all month long, I've been sharing projects featuring the designer series paper. And I know that there's probably a lot of people out there that just got done participating in product shares. And so they might have a lot of all the papers anyways in 6x6. However, a lot of the projects I've been sharing use sizes larger than 6x6. So it gives you a good reason to get a full package of the cardstock. And one of the things I love about the paper shares is that you can kind of see and feel all the different papers before you invest in a full package. And I can't tell you how, so often the catalog doesn't do the papers justice. They look so much more beautiful in person. Especially in the catalog, it's just a tiny little photograph. So when you actually get them, you get a better idea of what they look like. So I like doing the product shares just so you can get a sampling of everything. And speaking of, I will be sending out information on my paper and ribbon shares for the holiday catalog. Hopefully I'll get that out today. I am doing a paper share, I'm doing a specialty paper share, and I'm doing a ribbon share. I'm not doing an embellishment share this time, so watch for details on that, okay? Hi Lori, thanks for joining us. All right, so this is the current hostess code. It's good through the end of July. Let's see what else. This month's paper pumpkin kit, you have until August 10th to sign up for it or reserve your box. It's designed by Shelly Gardner, the co-founder of Stampin' Up. And if you've been around Stampin' Up for a while, she has a special style that's all her own, and I love it. So I'm excited for this box. The last one that she designed a couple years ago was extremely popular. I believe it sold out. So you have until August 10th to get this kit. If you don't currently have a demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. It's important to choose a demonstrator when you're doing your paper pumpkin kit. That way, if you have any issues, you have someone to work with to help you. Okay, so there's information about that on my page, and I'll include links for all of this when I post the video. Okay, So like I said, today's the last Wednesday of the month, and I am featuring projects with the 12 by 12 sheets of the Designer Series paper. So today, as promised, I'm going to be sharing some things that are not cards. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I'm going to share and show you how to make is this cute little box. It's kind of like a gift bag. It could be a box if you want it to be. So I'm going to show you how to make that. Okay. And then I'm also going to show you how to make this tag using some of your scraps. So if you're anything like me, you always have a ton of Designer Series paper scraps, and you don't want to get rid of them because they're so pretty, but they're not much to put on a card. So I'm going to show you how to make that. So let's start with our box. So for this size box, there are different sizes that you can make. This box here that I'm making, or bag, I should call it a bag, is 5 by 4. Okay, and now your Designer Series paper, you're going to need 2 sheets, and the size of that is 8 by 8, and then we're going to score it and fold it down. Okay, so but the finished product comes out to 5 by 4. Okay, so let's get our paper cutter. And so you'll need 2 sheets to make the bag. Okay, so you want them to be the same. You do want to be mindful if there's a direction, because like this one the paper didn't have a direction, but if it did, you want to make sure that it's not upside down when you finish it. Okay, so this one kind of has a direction. So this is going to be the top of my bag. Okay, and I need 2 8 by 8 squares. So I'm just going to cut these at the same time. Alright. So now because we do have a direction on this, this is going to be our top. Okay, and we're going to score it 4 times. And the dimensions that we're going to score this 8 by 8 sheet is we're going to score it at 1 inch, and then we're going to score it at 2 and 2 and 2 inches. Okay, and we're going to do both sheets like that. Okay, so here I'm going to do 1 inch, and then I'm going to turn it and do 2. And 2 and 2. Now, if you have a score pal or simply scored, you can use that as well. I'm just using the paper cutter because it's already out. So 1 inch, and then 2, and 2, and 2. Hi Diana, thanks for joining us. Okay, so it's a little hard to see the score line. Sometimes it's better on the other side that's not as busy. Just keep track. You can feel them. So my 1 inch is up here. Okay, so I am going to close this now and put this paper cutter aside. And then we want to score. And I really recommend using a bone folder for this part. Okay, now you'll decide which side you want on the outside of the bag. Okay, I want this to be the outside of my bag. So here's my 1 inch. That's the one I'm going to fold down. Okay, and this is going to give you that edge right there. Okay, So do that. And then, so if you fold this one that way, then you'll fold the rest of these the opposite way and score them. And I'll do it to the other sheet as well. So, how is everyone's day going? You having a good day? Busy day? I'm having a busy day. The last week of the month is when I have all my classes. So I'm getting ready for all of those. And then hosting the classes in the evenings. So, but it's a lot of fun. So I really love that I can say for my job, I do paper crafting. It's not much like a job. It's pretty fun. Lori says, good. How's your hand doing, Lori? Lori had surgery on her hand. Okay. So now you have your two pieces like this, okay? So your first one, we're going to cut out these squares here. So this is similar to making a box, okay? And for these, you can use your paper snips. I like to use my kitchen scissors. So if you guys follow me, you know that I keep a pair of kitchen scissors in my turnabout, just because they're longer and I can just make a single cut. Okay, and now don't throw these away. Save them, and I'll show you why. Or save one of them at least. Okay. So I'm going to put that aside so you can see this. So there's that. Okay. Hi, Tracy. Thanks for joining us. And then I'm going to come in and just miter these angles here, these sides, so that when we fold this together, it doesn't get all bunched up. Okay. And the wonderful thing about this is you can do them in any type of designer series paper. So depending on who you're giving your gift to, you know, if they love cats, then you could use the In the Wild designer series paper to make their gift. Or you could match it to match their gift. So it's a lot of fun. And I know we all have tons and tons of designer series paper, and we're like, I need to use that more. So this is a great way to do that. If you have a lot of Christmas designer series paper, then start making your gift bags now and you'll be all ready for Christmas, okay? So on the second one, we're not going to cut out the squares. We're just going to cut in right here, okay? So just like that and just like this. Now, depending on what you're going to put in these and how much they're going to be handled, and how comfortable you are with certain adhesives, you can use liquid glue, which is going to give you a little bit of time. If you have a hard time lining things up, I would recommend this. The only thing with that is that when you do glue it, you're going to have to hold it for a minute so it stays. But it will give you a few seconds to line things up, whereas snail, or not snail, the new stuff that we have now, or tear tape or anything like that, those are going to be a little stronger, but once it's down, it's down. So so this is a little more forgiving, but I'm not going to use this today. I am just going to use my old snail that I'm almost done with all my refills, and then I'll start using the new Stampin' Up! Stuff. And then this is just for looks. I'm not actually going to use this, so that's why this is okay. But if you are going to actually use it, I would use the Seal Plus for these, okay? So these are two pieces are going to go together and form our bag, okay? And so you can see where we cut this in so that it's not going to bunch up, okay? So lay it down here, and then we're ready to assemble. So what I do is I just, actually, first you want to adhere this piece, okay? This is your edge along the top, like so. That way you don't have to do it when the bag's all assembled. Okay. Now, you want to be sure that you get kind of close to the edge because you don't want it to get caught on something. But if you're using liquid glue, remember that if it seeps out, if you don't clean it up real good, it's going to make your bag sticky. So, okay, so here I'm just lining this up to where I want it, and then I'm just going to fold this over. And let's see, do the edge because I want it to be nice and attached at the edges. Okay, so that's going to come in, and so then this box is going to come up. Now I'm going to show you these little pieces here. You might think, well, why don't you just cut those out? But if you cut them out, then you actually have a gap. So if you have anything, depending on what you put in here, you might lose something. So I want these on here. However, I don't want them to show. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere them either on the inside or the outside. It doesn't matter. But then when you come up with this other edge, you can put it in between. And so then it looks finished. Okay, so you don't see it on the inside. Whereas here, on this side, so see this side, if I just push it in and then I just come in here like that, see how you have that little flap on the inside? And that's fine. I just think that looks so much better, don't you? There's that side and that side. So, if you make a mistake and you don't do that, it's not the end of the world. However, try to be mindful of that. Okay, so what I do is I just fold these in, and I'm just going to put some adhesive on here. And then what I do is I just go up like so for our edges, okay? And then I'm going to fold these in. And I'm going to bring this on the inside and then fold out like so. And then if you want to make sure if it's adhered, just use your bone folder to go in there. Okay, and there's your little bag. So you can see how by using the different designer series paper, you get a kind of different look. Now you have these little pieces that have the flowers on them still. So you know how when you get a bag, it comes with that little tag. So you could save it for that if you want. Okay. And now I'm going to use a hole punch. Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell these anymore right now. They used to. This is a Stampin' Up! One, but this is Fisker's brand. They made them for Stampin' Up! So you can get these a lot of places. And we're going to add some ribbon to this, okay? So for a little handle. So I'm using this Pale Papaya in white. One, because it matches this designer series paper. And two, because it's a little thicker and a little more sturdier. So I feel like if someone was holding it, it's a little better, it's a little stronger, okay? So just kind of figure out where you want your handles to kind of lie. So it doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm going to kind of do it like that, and then I'm going to cut one. Okay, and then I'm going to cut another ribbon to match the same length. Okay. All right. So then we have these. So, and then here, there might be a better way to do this than what I'm going to do. But I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. If you're very particular, you could measure it. If you wanted to, you could also do one on the side. That's an idea. Maybe we'll do that. Yeah, I think I'll do that, and then I have 2 handles for this, okay? So I'm going to come in on the side. You could do it on the front and put 2 handles, or you could just do one on the side. So I'm going to come in and punch a hole, and then come in and punch a hole, just pretty much in the middle. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this one. This is the one that I made prior to going live. Okay, and then I'm just going to pull this in here. And actually, I'm going to pull this through like this, and then I'm just going to tie a knot. And then make sure this is straight. And then pull it in on this side. And make a knot. Now if you did the handles on the front and the back and made 2 handles, you do it the same way. Pull that. And then we can pull this out. And then you have your little handle, like so. Okay, and here, what we can do, see which one I like. I like this one, so I'm just going to punch a hole right there. So you'd write your little message on here, and then I have some of this white twine. This is out of the combo pack, and I'm just gonna put that through, and then you have a little tag right there, and we'll tie a little bow. If you don't like to tie bows, you can tie a knot. So you have a little gift bag with a little gift bag with matching tag, and then we'll do the same thing with this one on here. And I saved the little pieces here for the tags. So this one, I'll do it later, but this one I'll do too, and then you would see. So like here, we would just punch 2 holes. Being mindful of how far we're coming in. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. And then we would do the same thing, okay? And I will post photos of these when we're done. Okay, so there's that. So that's a fun little gift idea. Using designer series paper. Okay, now I'm going to show you a tag. All right, so for this one, I'm going to use my paper cutter again. And so we all have these little scraps of designer series paper once we've made a bunch of cards and stuff with them. So I'm going to show you what you can use with those. So I'm going to actually use this is just a scrap piece of white. I keep my scraps in these page protector sheets. And then I do have like the shelves where you place the paper in, and then I just put this on top. Now I don't save a lot of scraps. White, I tend to save the smaller ones, but the other colors I don't save the smaller pieces. I have a friend that loves them, and I save them for her. But I love this because it will sit just on top of the other paper, and it doesn't all come flying out when I pull out a full sheet from below. And if I know I just need a scrap, then I just come in here and get it from there. So this is just a scrap piece of white. I could use one of these, but these are a little small. So what I'm going to be using are these new tag dies that came out this year. Okay, so depending on what you're using, you want to be mindful of the size. But I think if I do this one, I can actually get 2 of the large tags out of it. So Okay, so what we're going to do is we have our paper. Here's all of our scraps. Now, you can mix up the paper if you want, like using different designer series paper. I'm just going to use the same one. But I want to use the same one because the colors, you don't have to think about the colors because the colors should all coordinate, okay? You do want to be mindful of the direction. Now, I'm probably going to cut my tags, like to cut one here and cut one here. And this is what the tag is going to look like, okay? So, you know, a tag doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, they're kind of going to be in the background, so people might not notice too much what direction they are in. So I'm going to use this one. I have this one here, and I'm going to use this one here, okay? So we can put these back. Actually, I'm going to use this one because this has like the perfect flower on it for a card. I'm going to save that. Okay. So now what I want to do is I just want to cover this whole sheet in strips of paper. Okay, so I'm just going to put these together. They don't all have to be the same size. I'm just cutting strips. So I'm just going to come in here and make strips. Now these are bigger scraps. I will tell you, the sample that I made, I just made the one, so I was able to use smaller scraps because my paper was smaller. Okay, but I have the scraps here that will fit. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to make two, okay? So then we have our pieces here, and then we are just going to, sorry about that, forgot to turn the sound off. Okay, so then we're just going to lay our papers down here. I'm not going to adhere them until I have them how I want them. I really like that pink. And so what I'm doing is I'm going back and forth on the busy image, and kind of so back and forth like that, like so, and then just the purple one, I think. Okay, so once you kind of have an idea of how you want it, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to start gluing these down. Now, if you're going to use, I'm using this snail, so I'm trying to get rid of it. You just want to make sure that you pretty much cover your paper, because when we cut these, you don't want to have edges that are loose and coming up, okay? So if you're using liquid glue, then just, you know, put it on there kind of generously. And then we're just going to butt this up against the next one, okay? And then we'll just keep going. And if it's not straight, it's not a big deal. When we cut our tags out, we can straighten it up. Okay. And so you can see on the back, when I did my one earlier, I wanted to make sure that I cut out on the cardstocks, because that's kind of like my support. So I'm just coming in here and cutting these off so I know exactly where to position my tag. Okay, and I'm using my kitchen scissors because you might get some sticky on here. For those that don't know, if you have an Avon lady, or if you have some Avon, the Skin So Soft, the oil works great on getting the sticky off of your scissors. So if you have some, it's probably a huge bottle. I just transfer it into a smaller bottle and I keep it in my craft room. I don't know if I have some handy. So I keep it in this. It doesn't matter what kind you use. And then you just use a tissue or cotton ball and you use that to clean your scissors up, and the sticky comes right off. So there's a little handy tip if you didn't know it already. Okay, so then here's this. And you could cut, if you had circles, you could make circle tags, anything you want. But so I can fit 2 of the large tags on here. Okay. So now I'm going to share with you, I was going to cut these out with this little mini machine, which means I need to cut this in half because it's not going to fit in there if I don't. So, but this is very handy to have on your desk. So kind of figure out where you want it. I think I'm going to, want my ribbon to be on this end. You might want more of this flower or more of the pink. I want more of the pink on that one. And this one, I love these little purple ones and I like these pink ones. So let's see if we do it like that. Okay, so then the ribbon is up here kind of on that green and it's not hiding all that, okay? So, what do you guys think? Have you done this before? Or anything like this? With the little scraps of your designer series paper, or is there something that you do to use it up? Okay, so if you've never seen this little machine in action, you just make your sandwich here. Now, I'll warn you, a lot of times when I'm demonstrating this on my lives, it doesn't work for me, but then when I'm not live, it works. The one thing I will tell you is you do want to kind of offset these plates. If you totally line them up, for some reason on this little machine, it won't work. And that is something Stampin' Up! Told us. So, but you can see that I'm running this through. And there's one tag. So again, if you did this with Christmas paper, you could make all your Christmas tags. And then the other side is white. So you could just leave it like that if you wanted to. You could make these tags for the bags. This one doesn't match totally, but okay. So again, this one, make sure your tag is lined up with your lines here if that's going to drive you bananas. Okay. And then again with this little machine, you just want to kind of offset these. Okay, just so that they're not totally aligned. Okay. And then it goes right in. This little machine is very handy if you like to take little projects with you when you travel. The one thing I will warn you about is you probably want to take it in your carry-on. And when you get to security, the little metal ball in here will most likely set the security off. And when I've taken mine, they kind of freak out. But then once they open my bag and they see, and I'm like, it's in that thing, and and they see Stampin' Up! And they see all my craft supplies, and then I think sometimes that they seem like they're very scared to look in my bag, and then when they realize it was craft supplies, they feel a little silly. But I think it's kind of funny. Anyways, kind of makes me feel like crafty girls can be tough. So there's the other tag. And then this one, depending on your images, I think you can go that way too. Or I don't know, is there a specific way for tags to go? Like does this have to go on the left or does it have to go on the right? I wasn't sure. I was thinking about it, and it's really hard for me because I'm left-handed, but I do a lot of things both-handed. So oftentimes if there's like a particular way to do something, like a certain hand, I'm not aware because I do it with both. Like eating. I never realized everybody eats with their right hand because I eat with both. So if there is, tell me, because I just put it on the side that I like the paper. But oh, Ronnie does quilted cards. That's fun. I love those, where you kind of put the pieces together. I don't know if this is how you do yours, but I've done them in the past where you put the pieces together and you kind of run it through an embossing machine and then it looks all quilted. Those are fun because I like to give those to quilters and sewists to kind of show them how, you know, our crafts kind of mingle together. Okay, so this already punches out the little hole here. Okay. Thanks, Lori. She says she thinks the direction could go either. I was thinking that too. I was trying to think if there was a reason, but in my mind, I really don't see a reason. I guess I was thinking this way, because you read it that way, I guess. I don't know. But even if I don't know. Who knows? It just looks more appealing to the eye. We're going to say that. So I just kind of eyeball this ribbon here. Doesn't, you know, if you know that you're tying it to something particular, otherwise I'm just gonna do it however. Okay, so this one, my flowers will be upside down if I do it the other direction. So we're gonna do one of each, okay? And so for these, all I'm doing is, that's a little thick. I'm looking for some scrap out of my little sheet here. It's not too thick. I can trim it down. That looks good. That looks good. I don't know if it'll fit my birthday. I think it will. I'm going to do another birthday, I think. And these would be fun if you just want to, if you didn't have anything to give, like you don't have a gift to put it on, you could put it on a card, you know, just make some of these up and make some quick cards. So, okay, so I'm just going to use these. This one is a little thick. It's going to cover up all my paper. I don't want to do that. So I just pulled out 2 colors that coordinate with my paper. Okay, and I'm going to do the darker color is going to be on top with the smaller stamp. The lighter color is the one that uses more ink. Okay, because if we did it the other way around, you wouldn't see the lighter, you wouldn't see the smaller stamp. Okay, it doesn't matter which one you do first. However, I like to do the bigger stamp first, but it really doesn't matter. You could do the happy first, but I like doing the birthday first because then I can figure out where I want the happy to go. Okay, so this is our lighter. This is our darker. I have to keep looking at them to be sure. Okay, lighter. It's our birthday. This stamp set is the Biggest Wishes. This is my favorite stamp set in the catalog right now. And then the darker, and oh wait, both of them. Do you all have a favorite stamp set? It doesn't have to be current. Do you just have one that's your favorite? I usually don't have one. I just love this one. This one and the watercolor one. I don't know, maybe it's because it's kind of like back to the basics. I'm not sure. And then you can just pick where you want your happy. It doesn't have to be in the middle. Be anywhere. Like so. Okay. Okay, make sure you don't have ink on your hands. And this one I'm just going to trim up. I'm just going to cut this edge down here. Okay, and then I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of these because rarely do I see tags that have dimensionals. And that's the cool thing about making our own. They're fun. If you're giving a gift to a card maker, I bet you they save this tag and make a card out of it. And then let's figure out which one we want on. So I'm going to do that one on that one, I think. And this one here, yeah. And let's just do that right in the middle. You don't have to do it in the middle, but I like being able to see all the pretty paper. That, and then for our ribbon, I'll just show you on one here. But I just pulled this through. You could feed it through like this and then tie it around itself like that. However, the holes are kind of small in here, so I just used some more of this thread, and then you just lay it down here and tie a bow. Or not, it doesn't have to be a bow. I know a lot of people don't like bows. You just tie it, and then you have your pretty little tag. Could use linen thread. And there you go. These are a little long. Isn't that cute? So I hope you enjoyed my projects today. I hope I shared with you some new ways to use your designer series paper. I know we all like to collect it, but if you use some of it, it will give you some more room to buy some new stuff. And there's some really pretty paper coming out in the holiday catalog. So for those of you that are local, I'm looking so forward to bingo on Friday night. We're gonna have a full house. I'm also planning a catalog kickoff, I believe for the 14th of August, so save the date there if you're interested in coming to that. Otherwise, if you have any questions or anything, reach out to me, and if not, join me next week, next Wednesday at 12 o'clock, same place. Thanks, you guys. Have a great day. Bye.